Coach Richard here on a great September day. Man, gotta love days like this. Well, maybe you're in different parts of the world and it isn't quite the great day. I don't know. But I just came off. The size of my property and things. Sometimes, some people have, trimming tools and things. I use an 8-ton excavator. That's what I've been using today to rip out buckthorns and the like. It's part of my private life, but it's that whole thing. It's just maintaining a property. This thing behind me goes back a long way, but it is a little oasis here that surrounds the house. Anyways, different kind of sort of talk here today, folks. As you know, I'm a relentless entrepreneur. If you spend any time listening to me, what's going on, I try and give people direction, the ability to get from where they are to where they actually want to be. And I usually do it on two tracks because I live on two tracks from the standpoint of endeavors. The one that's closest to me, closest to my heart, closest to the entire aspect of people moving people from debt and desperation to peace and prosperity is the work that I do in network marketing with USANA Health Sciences. Unbelievable the changes I've seen in people's lives from the standpoint of their health and well-being. They go from being on multiple medications to none. It's not saying that USANA did it. It's like they took the action and things they needed to do and the proper, I'll call it essentialments, not supplements, essentialments to get them up to that state of just vigorous cellular life and activity. Everything we are is a cell. Well, bacteria too, but call it a cell. And the whole thing of prosperity. It isn't something, and people say, oh, what it is like a side hustle. It's not a side hustle. I'm telling you right now, it's a way of democratizing wealth. People to make generational, really different wealth by making other people's lives better and their own life better. Their own life better physically, their own life better financially, and the ability to share that whole message with other people, learn the skills to do it. And here's the funny part of it. It's a zero risk deal. Zero risk. It's like I've never, when I first saw this, I had no idea this business model existed. But the caveat is you have to invest in yourself. You have to just develop the skills. Find the right mentor or team or group of people around you to develop the skills. Not resist it, develop them. Not resist building a better life, but to commit to building a better life. And the way you do that, again, is building better skills. People go off to college. Maybe you did, I did, a lot of people, right? They go through and 4 years of university or 5 years advanced program, 6, 7, I don't know. But the point being is we spend the time hopefully developing the skills or the knowledge to go out and then continue to develop the skills and the knowledge to be able to merely earn a living. Unfortunately, not really develop a life. But that is the first thing that I do. That is my passion. People making other people's lives better, including their own, physically and financially. The other side of it, that is highly risky, that I rarely invite people to, and I'm certainly not within this crew that's talking here, are entrepreneurial endeavors that cost thousands of dollars just to determine if they're going to be viable. My latest one right now, dealing with a partner, with a friend, is a construction technology. I don't know if you call it invention, but we'll call it application. That literally, just to think about it, just to determine if you can kind of, you know, if it's going to make any sense, costs thousands of dollars in just legal opinions and some technology coding, early technology coding from proof of concept. Is it going to work? Not going to work, but thousands of dollars. And to put together a war chest of personal dollars between us of 50 to 75,000 just to determine if there's traction in the marketplace to make it build and grow. That's the other thing I do. And I don't invite many people to it. And the reason I don't is because not many people are prepared to do it. Not many people are prepared to lose money because it's high risk. So what do I look for? Value added people. People that are part of an industry already or people that understand the difference between risk and reward and that sort of thing. And so that's the other side of my life and what I do. Okay? I've done that forever before I ever got involved with USANA Health Sciences. But the beautiful thing in USANA Health Sciences is a person can step into it full blast, full ready to go, zero risk for less than $500. What? Yeah, less than $500. I talk about before I even talk to intellectual property attorney, just to get an opinion. So this is sort of where we're going. What do you think? Is it going to be? Are we going to be able to protect it or whatever? Oh yeah, Send me a couple $1,000 and I'll look at it for a minute. Oh, I'll arrange 30-minute call with you. Thanks. Oh, you got to structure another like corporate identity? Oh, that won't be a problem. Stuff, we'll set up the structure and things with it. That's going to be a few thousand, but that's all right, ready to go. And we're not even talking about staffing or coding people or talent. We're just talking about a little bit of structure. And in the meantime, I sit on this other side where I watch people go from literally debt and desperation to peace and prosperity, literally, by putting $500 towards themselves, like going to the grocery store. What's the risk of going to a grocery store? What do you come out with? You come out with sustenance that will support your food and family and your hunger quotient for a long time. That's basically what I talk about on that. And now it's the time to start developing the skills. You know what your risk is really in that side of it? You know what your risk is? Social. Because not many people you know are really committed to them living a life of vigor and vitality and energy. They just soon descend into a thing of decrepitude and exhaustion. And their idea of a great time is to go out and get wrecked. you know there's so much screwiness that goes on in the world today. We got a lot of yellow jackets around here, but screwiness that goes on out in the world here today, where people just misalign their priorities. Right? What are your priorities? How do you want to live life? Do you want to design a life, or you just want to sort of be channeled into just making a living? Are you going to decide that the government is the one who's got the answers for you, or are you going to decide that you have the answers for you? I mean, they screwed it all up, right? You know how many hundreds of thousands of people died unnecessarily because of food pyramids, right? You know how many people got and went jab and jab again and jab again, and now we're dealing. I have a good friend I used to run with on the canals and such in Arizona that out of the blue, just a few weeks ago, hey, I got brain cancer. A few weeks later, dead. Where'd that come from? I don't know. I can only speculate. I can, but that's just speculation. That's just me. But I've seen too much of it. But again, that just comes back to the people that said that you were an outlier, that there was something wrong with you if you didn't listen to the all wise, all powerful groups of people called government and authorities that said, we know what's better for you. You know what's better for you. And you kick yourself today every time you turn around and you decide, because it is a decision, you decide that other people know better than you do all the time. And you might look down at your waist. You might look down at running out of breath. You might look down and wonder, why is my bank account so empty? And you might look down with lack of hope in your heart. You just say, how do I get ahead? You can get ahead, but you have to decide you're going to get ahead. You have to decide that you're going to take the proper action. You're going to decide you're going to learn. You're going to decide you're going to get around the right people. You're going to decide. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You're going to decide. And that's what it said. That's right. When I go out into the marketplace on this other project I'm working on, the one that's already costing thousands of dollars, but when I go out in the marketplace and that, I will make the decision if the people are aligned with our vision of where this project can go to. I'm not looking for empty money. I'm not looking for people just to write checks and say, I don't want any of that. I don't want empty money. I want value added money. People who come with other connections, maybe board qualified people, maybe people that are already really engaged in the industry, can put other connections together. But on the other side, the real business of network marketing, the real business of USANA Health Sciences, making people's life better, live longer. Go from a standpoint of people are living too short and dying too long to living a long, long, long time in just energy and vitality and mental acuity. That, folks, is the essence of life. The ability to go out and experience life in full energy and go. Not this fear standpoint of saying, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. I do this thing. What will other people think if I strive to endeavor and it goes wrong and I don't achieve it? Oh no, I won't get started. You know better than that. You really do know better than that. But by God, I see a lot of it today. I see a lot of people operating from the standpoint of just anxiety and the fear of failure, the fear of their peers thinking that they're trying to achieve something they might not be able to do. But here's the thing, and here's the goofy part of it. If people follow my formula, people just do that, which does not take rocket science intellect. Follow my formula. They can look at their friends and their peers and such in a short time in the future, what I mean by short time, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, let's say they put themselves in a position where they earn an extra $1,000 a week. I'm not talking about side hustle where if they don't do that next week again, they they don't make it. I'm talking about residual, or called royalty income. If they decide they're going to do it, and so many of you maybe watching this right now have tried to do something like before, and I call it try because really liberally, because you didn't really try. All you did was really just sort of enroll or sign up or something. It's like buying a pair of running shoes and saying, okay, I'm going to go run a marathon. But first, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm not talking about the legal bar. I'm talking about the bar, Joe's Bar and Tavern. Yeah, see a lot of that. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to sign up at the gym. Yeah, well, signing up at the gym is one thing. Putting into the work is something completely different. So anyways, as I said, this is a different one today, folks. Give you a little bit of insight of, yeah, I run parallel tracks. I do. And the only thing that I know is that for people to really, 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 really grab hold of their life, they got to decide, number one, they're going to live in a state of vigor and vitality and mental acuity. They're just going to do that. And it goes far beyond just going to the gym. We're talking about optimal cellular nutrition. You don't know how to do that. Well, maybe a few of you do who are watching this because you're customers of mine or colleagues of mine. But in the great scheme of things, you don't. I don't know how many times I run into people, yeah, I eat really good. Yeah, I go to the gym. I do that. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So, Camp Cameron, that's it. 8-ton excavator is now parked and put away. Don't need to rip out any more buckthorn and the like, that kind of deal. I'll get on the phone here and talk to some of my colleagues and customers later on today. And then I'll be working on a provisional patent application, kind of the framework for it to get to attorneys to go through. So yeah, it's a busy day. Oh, and by the way, I haven't had broadcast television or cable television in my house since 2012, maybe 10, something like that. Yeah, I got Netflix. Yeah, it sits there. And I say sits there because it kind of just sits there. But if I hear something, and no, I don't watch Monday Night Football or Sunday afternoon football, but I can get the highlights on an ESPN app and see what happened. But I don't need to spend hours to watch somebody else play. I prefer to play. How about you? All right, everybody. That's it from Camp Cameron. Coach Richard out. Peace be with you. Take care. Bye-bye.